I'm here today with my brother Jesse. I feel it only fitting to get a brother, a cousin, somebody I actually know here for our first Fish Stories podcast. We're wanting to do this like one, or I don't know about Jesse, but I'm wanting to do this like
A
once a month.
pleasure to be here.
Do what, Jess?
It's a pleasure to be here on this podcast with you.
That's right. The Jeff Fishing Pod. That's about the best name I can come up with was that Jeff Fishing Blog, Jeff Fishing Pod. All right. Let me see if I can start this up and then we'll figure it out as we go. Hopefully, I'll be able to edit and stuff. Man, my head looks so much smaller than yours. All right, guys.
Probably closer to the camera, I think.
You're probably a lot closer to the camera. So I got to do a lot of fishing with Jesse. Jesse and Christopher, we fished together. I don't know, probably about time you got to be a sophomore. It's about time I think we started fishing a lot.
Yeah, think about high school.
Yeah, that was when we were in Gary, and then he'd stayed with me some while I was down here in Rockport, and we fished a bunch of different places. But the special fish story that I think Jesse has for us today has nothing to do with either one of them, and may not even have anything to do with fish.
We did go fishing on that trip though, but yeah, it wasn't exactly about a fish. So you want me to jump into it or?
Yeah, let's go. I want to hear it. Let's go.
All right, so me, Linda, one of my friends from school, his name was Sean, and our brother Chris. We went to this lake. Sean's dad took us there. And I ain't sure what lake it was or exactly where it was at because we were like in middle school at the time, I think. And so we get to this lake, we get all set up, we're fishing, and then there's this little
hang on. So Sean's dad was dating mom at the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mom was there too.
So Bill and mom were like kind of taking all the kids together to kind of see how the dynamic was going to work. But Jesse apparently was already friends, and they take him to this lake, and there's like this pier out there, right?
Yeah, it was like this small pier made out of like a pallet, like a wood pallet, and this walkway was to get to this pallet was just this narrow board, like you had to be careful getting to this little spot. So we all
didn't
get
realize
up on
it was that rickety.
It was it was rickety and it was a small space. So me, Chris, and Sean are on this little small space, and we're fishing off of it. And I have my hand in the water, and all of a sudden something bit my pinky. I pull my pinky out; it's bleeding.
Oh,
I still kind of have a scar from it. It's probably hard to see now, though.
Probably not, but yeah, you guys.
It's like right there.
So when you guys went to go out there, if I remember right, I was told the story. I wasn't there, but you guys all took your shoes off to not get your shoes wet.
Oh yeah, we did. We took our shoes off. I forgot about that.
And
yeah, we all took our shoes off. We were all barefooted.
And all four of you were out there on that pallet, right?
Just me, Chris, and Sean. Linda was on the shore. She didn't want to join us on that. And so I get bit. I look down the water and I just see this head that's like that big around. I didn't know it was a turtle. I thought it was just a big fish. So I have my worm. I'm trying to catch it, and it just kind of nibble at it, and I wouldn't take it. And then it turned around, and I noticed that it was a turtle. And I'm like, dude, there's a big turtle down here. And Chris and Sean, they started arguing about like you reach down there and grab it. No, you reach down there and grab it. And I was like, you know what? I'll grab it. and it didn't seem like it was so deep down. And I started reaching in there. I thought I was only going to go to my elbow. And I go from my elbow all the way down to like where my face is like right next to the water. And then I finally get a hold of its tail. And I pull this thing up and I lift my hands up like this. And its head is touching the ground. It's like fighting and snapping at my feet. And it kicks itself free. And when this turtle hits the ground, it just opens its mouth and starts running, running in circles. And it would turn at one of us, and we're all up like this, and like hiding and like and screaming like little girls. And this turtle would run at one of us, and we would leap over it. They would turn and run at another. We'd leap over it. And oh man, that thing was terrifying too. It was a big turtle. Like I swear that thing was the biggest turtle I ever seen. And it's a lot bigger when its mouth is open and it's running at you too.
You might be asking yourself, where is the parental supervision from when Mom told the story from her point of view? Apparently, her and Bill were paralyzed by laughter.
They were cracking up, yeah. And we were terrified.
They were in real danger.
We're all trying to keep our feet away from it. Yeah. This probably goes on. It seemed like it went on for like about a minute. Probably wasn't even that long, but it felt like it took a minute. But the turtle finally decided that it was done messing with us and ran off into the water.
Y'all were properly scared and wouldn't mess with no more turtles. So
yeah, I got a newfound respect for big snapping turtles.
I'm gonna get Christopher to tell his version of it at some point.
Yeah.
But Christopher's version involves Jesse reaching down, grabbing the turtle, which he didn't say nothing about being to the water or to his face. But he said when Jesse pulls the turtle out, he says, "Soup."
Did I say? I don't remember. Everything happened kind of fast.
Christopher might have took some liberties with the story, but it was funny.
Bill says something about just grab it up and throw it on shore, and I'll get it. Yeah,
you come grab
that thing was way too big to throw around. Like that, I swear that thing's neck was like freaking 3 feet long. Like I don't know, man.
That's pretty.
Like I'm holding that thing up as high as I can, and its head's still touching the ground. Like that's wild.
That's good stuff, Jess. I'm glad I missed out on that one. I went fishing with Jason one time, and we were fishing all them little lakes there in Central City, right there on the right-hand side of the road. I'm sure you fished them once or twice. Anyway, he'd hooked into a real big turtle, not, pretty good sized turtle. And we're in this narrow 14-foot john boat. And it's already, we were full grown adults at the time. That john boat couldn't handle much more weight as it was. And he keeps pulling that turtle up like he's going to put it in the boat. And I said, Jason, don't you put that turtle in this boat. And he's like, oh, I just want to look at it. And then he pulls. I said, don't you put that turtle in this boat. He said, well, I want to get my hook out. I said, I got a bunch of hooks. You just cut it to look at the line. And I pulled my knife out, just reached over and cut the line. I was like, you are not. I just seen it all over his face. And I don't even know if he's ever even cleaned a turtle before, but I know what he was thinking. It's like, oh, well, people eat turtles, and I'll just put it in here and clean it and whatever. And we'd have tipped that dang boat over. That turtle would have been like you said, and it was It may not have been as big as the turtle you're talking about, but it was a big old snapping turtle.
It
And
don't
it would
it
have
don't
been
matter. They got some powerful bites.
it would have been a mess, man, if we'd had that turtle in that boat. It'd have been a mess. That boat wasn't big enough for that kind of action. I don't know if I've ever even had turtle. So that's
I I remember Dad talking about eating turtle meat, and he said that maybe it was the way they cooked it, but he said he'd get a little piece of meat and it'd be so chewy that like when he chew it, it felt like it'd like get larger in his mouth to the point where he couldn't swallow it.
I seem to remember Dad saying that he was
Yeah,
not a he was not a fan of the turtle meat. You know, that's the
he said like rubbery and tough.
I do remember him getting some frog legs, like they went out gigging frogs and they come back with frog legs. And apparently nobody had warned Mom that whenever you cook frog legs, when
They
you put the leg, yes,
put flipping them back in the face.
Hey, if you guys are new here, I would like to tell you guys about the JFE Big Tails Fishing Tackle Fish of the Month and Fish of the Year contest. Heck yeah. Super easy to enter. All you have to do is catch a fish, take a picture of the fish, and then send it to me at jfefishofyear@gmail.com. Or you could send it to me by messenger over on Facebook. Basically, any way that you can get it to me, I'll accept it. And honestly, email is probably the best way. I would for sure get that every time. We have prizes. We have for Fish of the Month. As of right now, we're picking winners for adult male, adult female, youth female. We do the same on the Fish of the Year. The Fish of the Month winners get a certificate honoring their accomplishment. The Fish of the Year winners get a trophy and a gift card.
One of the something similar but different, but one of the spookier things I'd ever ran into was Mike and I went fishing almost all night, right? And then we get back, and of course he leaves me the fish to clean. And for reasons I can only explain as I was tired and I wasn't thinking clearly, I we had this catfish that was probably about 4 pounds, and I didn't fillet it. I just skinned it and gutted it and cut the head off of it. And I had it under the sink running some cold water over it. Just, clean all the stuff off before I put it in the Ziploc bag before we cooked it. And that fish body came alive and just started flopping off.
The cold water sets it off.
And this was 3:30 in the morning. I'm alone. I just started laughing because it was pretty spooky, but it was all right. It was
They
just
get a scream out of you.
I didn't go, there's
We got a live one.
One of the best and worst fishing trips I took with Jesse. Hey man, sometimes in life you got to learn lessons. And when it comes to loading your truck, you need to load your own truck.
Oh yeah, I was pretty salty on that trip.
Oh no, we all got, so like Jesse said, it's salty, and it's one of those deals to where like I can blame people, but it's better if I just own it. It's because so Jesse, myself, and our buddy Nate, we were going to go fishing together. Now out here at Scales, I didn't have a boat. We were living down here at the time. At Scales Lake, you could go out there and rent a boat. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna rent this boat. I think I had a trolling motor, right? I might have had a trolling motor and a battery.
I think so. I think I was your trolling motor.
Right, I had a trolling motor and a battery, and I told him, okay, put these rods in the truck, put this in the truck, put that in the truck. And I had a toolbox, right? So I was going to use like a 20-pound dumbbell for an anchor because I didn't have anchors. So, all right, put this in the truck. And I should have said, put this in the toolbox. But I said, put this in the truck, right? So we're good. We're all happy. We're riding out to Scales Lake. We're going to do some fishing. I think we were going to do some bass fishing or something. And we get out there, and I look in the back of the truck, and every one of our rods had been broken about this much to that much. Jesse's rod may have took the brunt of it. He may have went from having like a 6'6" to like a 4-foot rod.
I had one eye left on it. That's how bad it was. I was
you had more
very
than that.
unhappy. No, it was just
Well,
one eye.
it was your rod.
I had literally one eye.
Just like you
Like,
do right now.
I don't think you remember, but it was just one eye, and I was fishing with that the whole time, and I was just catching bluegill.
So like knowing, like, it was one of those deals where like we're not going to let it stop us. We're going to just go ahead and go fishing. It sucked. I
was pretty mad. I wanted to just sit in the truck, but I was like, nah, I'll just go.
I was mad for a minute, but like I said, Jesse took the brunt of it. Doesn't matter, like, really, like, who is to blame or whatever. It is what it is. So we get in the boat, and then we get out there, and we start catching some bluegill. Scales Lake. It's been a few years since I fished there, but it's always been a really good bluegill lake. So I'm in the back of the boat. Nathan is in the middle of the boat. Now, granted, Nathan is probably 2 or 3 inches taller than me and about my same weight, so he's not a little guy at all. And then Jesse was in the front, right?
I was a lot littler back then than I am now. So I weighed probably $130 back then, if that.
So go ahead and pick up where, because we got to the back part of the lake.
Well, I'm set up for catching bluegill. I had a little gold hook,
beam off,
and just fishing with I think it was a red worm, either that or beam off. I don't know, I had no weight. I had no weight. I was just letting it free fall. I see some bubbles coming up right in front of me, so I just kind of tossed it there. And next thing I know, the line starts taking off, and I set the hook, and then it starts taking drag. And it was a pretty good fight. It was a lot more than I was expecting. I was expecting a bluegill.
So Jesse hooks into this fish. It's bending his rod over him, all one
eye. It was taking drag anyway. I don't know if that rod was bending much.
So he gets it to the boat, and then when I see it, like it goes to take off. Well, Nathan, as far as I know, Nathan's never really done a lot of fishing, especially to handle fish like that. And not that really I have, but so like I tell Nathan,
get out of my way.
I said, let's switch spots. And Nathan's not that comfortable in this boat. And not only that, but it's not like we're fishing like against the shore. We're kind of like there's this big slough, and I thought we would go to kind of like the edge of the slough where there's that little drop off, and we're kind of out in the middle of the lake, so to speak, out in the middle of nowhere, which, to be fair, I don't think those guys wanted to fish in the middle of nowhere to even start with. And I'm like, oh, this might be a good spot. Hey, who was right? Jesse hooked into a giant catfish. So I tell Nate, I'm like, let's switch spots. And he's like, he's kind of rickety. And then Jesse's bringing that fish in, and I just reach over and grab him and throw him in the back. I done it so fast that he didn't know what was going on. And I'm like kind of coaching Jesse the whole time. I'm like, go easy, blah, blah, blah. I said, all right, now, bring it up here. And he goes to bring it up there, and I reach for it, and it just takes off. And when it took off,
it goes under the boat, and there's nothing I do about it. When I pulled it in, the hook was bent pretty good too. So
it straightened the hook out more than it did anything. Because I think the one time it went to go under the boat, and we got it back.
Yeah,
right. Because like you ended up taking the rod because you were in the front, you were able to take the rod around, like feed it some line and then take it around. It was pretty adventurous, man. And I hated it that we lost that fish. Because all right, so we broke the rods that day. The next day was payday. I'm going to say I have every confidence in calling that fish like a 30-pound flathead. That's what it
Yeah,
was. I got a real
it
good look
looked
at it,
pretty,
right?
looked
Because
about that big.
the next day is when we went out to Diamond Pay Lake, which I guess they're always under new management. I don't know. But they were like almost under new management. So we went out there. We got new rods, got some catfishing rods,
Yep.
and went out there. And that was the first time I'd caught my 30-pound flathead. That was, which we caught
I
two.
think that was the first time we started fishing with a whole live bluegill too, right? 'Cause I don't remember us really doing that. At
That
least
for sure
not when I
wasn't
was with you.
that for sure wasn't my first time because I started
Well,
doing
that was
that.
my first time.
Right, I started doing that the year before, actually bass fishing. In that super clear water, watching which it was my biggest bass at the time, like 3 pounds. Uh, but watching that 3-pound bass just swim by that bluegill like it's not even paying attention to it or whatever, and then it does this real quick turn and just sucks the whole thing up head first was pretty awesome. And we've used whole lot of bluegills ever since then. Mike uses them, I use them, and which I
And
love that.
I do it too now.
Yeah, that's the thing is if you're new to that kind of fishing, um, a smaller fish than you think will hit a whole lot of bluegill.
Yeah.
I've caught plenty of 2 and 3 pound catfish, and like I said, like a 3-pound bass, and known of other bass will eat anything. They're easy to catch. They got a whole store with nothing but bass lures in it. That's how easy bass are to catch. You just pick your flavor, what you like to fish with, and you'll be able to get out there and catch a bass. Now, I'm not saying you're going to go out there and catch 10-pounders and 7-pounders and all that kind of thing, but they're not that picky. Shoot, no.
I caught a bass over at Lake George fishing for bluegill. That's how easy they are to catch.
That's right.
It was little bass though, wasn't big.
One of my favorite fishing for bluegill stories, which I am not attached to at all, but I was out there hanging out by Kankakee, and they had the little like a little outdoor magazine specific for the Kankakee River, and they were telling a story in there about a woman fishing with a bee moth for bluegill and hooks into a 40-inch northern pike out there. That reminds me of you. Yeah, that reminds me of you with your bee moth and a 30-pound flathead.
We just gotta go fishing for bluegill with bee moths more often, and we'll catch the big fish.
That's right. That's right. Oh man, we're right about 25 minutes. I think you gave me a full-on podcast going there, Jesse. If y'all didn't notice, Jesse's wearing one of the OG Jeff Fishing Vlog hats. I love it. Looks cleaner than any. You still got the sticker on there. How about that? Did you? I know you don't
flag on there.
I know you don't peruse Facebook very much, but did you happen to see the new symbol, the new icon that I got?
Yeah. I put a like on it.
Well, at some point I'm going to come out with some hats, and I wasn't able to keep that logo. The people that I got it through went out of business, and like I tried to buy it, because like there was something in the contract to buy it. It wasn't very much, but I wasn't ever able to talk to the right person to make that happen. I don't know. People are jerks. They should just gave it to me.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. We're in a new world. I'm gonna move on. I actually like the new logo better than that one. That's the rod with the little hands for a clock, and
I like that logo too. I think it's a lot better.
I'm not looking for a big. We are. Let's see. It looks like I just got sent some new photos, including the photo I'd gotten earlier, including the photo you had sent. We are at, which this will come out after the May. Right. So, but as of recording this, the May episode will come out before this one. Right. The May fish of the year. I'll have this all set up and ready to go a couple weeks after that. But man, we're over 160 entries for the year. And I haven't looked lately, but I'm guessing it's about 115 individual entries, which is awesome. I absolutely love it.
Hopefully, this summer and fall, I give you a few more entries. I catch some more fish.
Yeah, get that little Charlotte out
had
there
a whole lot of luck
fishing.
the past couple of days, but maybe it might change. Who knows?
I like getting the pictures of them small ones too. I don't care. That's awesome.
And I took one close to the camera and then showed you how big it really was.
Believe me, you ain't. I got
This is a
100
monster. No, it's not.
I've had 300 pictures of fish sent to me in the last year and a half. You're not fooling me by putting it close to the camera. I see a lot of fishing pictures. All right.
You already know Dad's tricks. So
that's right. That's everybody's tricks. You'll definitely be in the running for the smallest fish of the month this month.
If there was only a prize for that.
There's a couple guys from work that had entered some really small fish, and I think it's the fish of the month for May. I'm gonna just pick a personal winner on that one for the smallest fish. I think those
now I gotta take pictures of my small catches too.
I think the guys that send it, I think they'll be pretty good sports about it, or if I haven't really looked enough to pay attention, but I'll look enough and pay attention, going into this month, and we'll do a smallest fish of the month.
It takes skill to catch a small fish. Sometimes they're hard to hook.
Some days a small fish saves the day.
Hey, like turn around and use it for bait.
Not even that, man. Some days are tough and you just want to catch one fish and you get that small one and it's just like, man, at least I got one today.
At least you got a little bit of the fill,
Yeah, sometimes it really turns it around, That's kind of a running theme with a lot of fishermen. Now there's some days you catch so many small ones, you're sick of it and you're ready to actually catch a real fish. But, hopefully we have more days of catching real fish than small fish. All right. Let's see. Yeah, give us a follow. We're going to have lots of stories. Jesse will be back on here at some point.
Comment, subscribe.
That's right. Like, comment, subscribe. Jesse will be on here. We're going to have Christopher on here at some point. I even have a fish story with our sister Linda, which is hilarious. Yeah, we'll have Debbie on here at some point. And I have a few people that have committed to doing it that are probably a little bigger, or I shouldn't say a little bigger, but a lot bigger in the space than I am. So it's just a matter of like making the time and getting them on here and doing all that sort of thing. Heck yeah, I look forward to it. All right, Jess, I got one question for you. When's the best time to fish?
Anytime.
Y'all, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing. Keep sending them pictures in. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it is the JFE Big Tails Fishing Tackle Fish of the Year, Fish of the Month contest. All you have to do is send me a photo at jfefishofyear@gmail.com or send it to me over on Facebook. Heck yeah. Love you, Jess.
Love you too. Bye, everybody.
So I hope you guys take a moment, especially those who are active over on Facebook, to go over and thank our sponsors, give them a follow, like a few of their photos, use their business. If they fill one of your needs, use their business. Heck yeah. Big Tails Fishing Tackle, Tell City, Indiana. Jim's a great guy, has some really good products there. Then we have Sibrel Carpentry. If you're in the Spencer County, Indiana area, general area, Nick does some really good work. He has some good projects. Projects. Why would I say projects? Nick recently advertised a 5-gallon bucket planting tower. And I thought that was pretty good. So when I said projects, that's what I was thinking of, was his product there. And I didn't ask the price, but Nick's a pretty good guy and does really good work. Also, we have Rebels Gas out of Rockport, Indiana. Stop in, get you some chicken, get you a pizza, get you some gas. Yeah, I imagine if you're eating Gas station chicken and pizza. You already have gas. Pretty good stuff over there at the gas station. We also have Los Panchos as a sponsor, and love Los Panchos. Some people may know it as the Caboose. They're right here in Rockport. Stop in. They just have some of the best food anywhere. And we picked up another sponsor. Heck, yeah, this is so. Our year-end event is on the second Saturday in December, and there's a reason why I'm announcing this last sponsor. We're going to do it live from Big Tails Fishing Tackle, and anybody that's in the area, I invite you guys to come in. Let's get quite a few people in there. It is going to be a really good time. But Meg's Cakes and Sweets has agreed to sign on, and she's going to provide a cake to help us celebrate our Fish of the Year winners. Los Panchos has agreed to cater it with a taco bar. So if you guys show up, man, we're really going to have a good time. And I'm sure we'll do a random drawing from the people that are there. We may or may not have some stuff to give away depending on the sponsors. And it'll just be a good time overall. All right, let's get back telling these stories.
I want to introduce everybody to Jaden. He is our April Fish of the Month winner. He wasn't able to get on the April's podcast. So we're going to get Jaden on here with our Fish Stories podcast, which we're hoping to start doing like once a month. So you want to go ahead and tell me about that? Let's see. I got a question. All right. First thing is first. Was the fish, do you have a good fish story other than the fish you caught the other day, or do you just want to talk about the fish you caught back in April?
I have another story about some different fish I caught back in April.
Man, this podcast right here, this is fish story. So if you got a good fish story, that's what I want to hear.
So actually, the same day that we caught that fish, we hooked up on what I thought was a log, and it started pulling drag, and just snapped me right off.
Oh no!
I thought it was a snag.
Did you feel like the tail swoosh or something?
Yeah, I felt like my line kind of like shaking back and forth, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a bummer, but we doubled we about 2 12-pounders.
My how long it been since you changed your line?
Can I tell you my line?
Yeah, like because your line broke on that log. Why? Did you not have your drag set properly? Did you have a bad spot in your line? Did it get wrapped around something? You think?
Leader that broke. I'm pretty sure it's the leader. Yeah.
That 50-pounder I caught last year, and I don't know if you're doing it. This is going to be a little PSA, right? So if you're watching this or you're listening to it, almost every state does something similar to this. But like last year, I went and caught that 50-pounder, which was good enough for the Indiana Fish of the Year for blue catfish, right? And to enter that contest, you just have to measure the fish. Now, like you guys are fishing the Ohio River, whatever you're catching counts for Kentucky and for Indiana. And what Kentucky does is a trophy fish master angler program. That little thing I got right there behind me, that has my Fish of the Years on there. It has some of my Kentucky trophy fish stuff. Indiana, you get a little certificate, and I'm pretty sure Indiana's certificate will have your name spelled correctly. I'm gonna switch stories on y'all. Okay, the story I was gonna tell about the 50-pounder is I don't think I had a really good knot tied that day, and I'm just glad that like my knot held and I was able to get the fish in. But his stepmom had sent me all the information, and I met them while we were out fishing. So like I really didn't know what all was going on or like know your guys' situation. And I just didn't even think nothing about it. And I put her last name on with it was Brandon with her last name for his Fish of the Month certificate. So I will get you a new one out with your actual last name on it. But I told her, I said, the only way I'm going to do this is if you guys display the original one in a prominent place in the house. That was a go-to. Now, your fish of the month, was it just a
Yeah.
normal, nice fish? What'd you catch it on?
I caught it on shad while I was bumping.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Everybody's into that
Yeah,
bumping
we were.
stuff now.
Yeah, it's fun, you know. You're just sitting there, bumping the rod, and you feel that takedown.
That takedown, that's what it's all about.
Yep.
I do so much bank fishing anymore, man. I like that. Listen to that drag hit and then
Yeah.
crank it down on that reel. It's now how often do you get out and go to fishing? And it's like, is catfishing your favorite style?
Catfishing's probably one of my favorites just because of the size. You know, it's fun. I do a lot of bass fishing, but I'm not very good at it.
You know, like right here, I feel like, you know, if you're going to catch like a true trophy, catfishing is the way to go, right? Because we have the Ohio River right here. There are
Yeah.
giants swimming around out there. And this is not the best area for a bass fisherman. Like, there are some big bass, you know, there are some big bass around here. But, you know, we don't live like right on top of Kentucky Lake. We don't live like down in Alabama and Florida and Texas. You know, you go out in those areas, you're really catching
Exactly.
some very big fish. So, Braden, do you have anything that you would like to? This is something, okay. Braden, this is something I always like to ask whenever I'm doing my Fish of the Month videos, right? The podcast that I've been doing for so long, all of 2 months. You have anything you would like to plug or anybody you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank my dad. He puts us on all the fish. If I'm going to be honest, he takes us out there on his boat. Everything I've got.
Man, I met those guys while I was out fishing the Anderson
Yeah,
River that day. And he is just so cool. I really enjoy talking to him. He threw me some shad. Yeah, I really enjoyed getting to meet those guys. Now, did you get to go to that World Catfish Championships?
I actually didn't. I was out busy that day.
I had a good time. I went both days. I really enjoyed myself. Congratulations on your fish of the month, man. That's a nice fish. Really, I really expect to see a bigger fish from you this year. You know, just because you won the one, don't stop entering them. You know,
Yeah.
the one that I need to see a fish from is your dad. He's just passing that rod to you and your stepmom the whole time. It's not even fair.
Not really catch much himself.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Well, bud, I'm gonna let you go, let you get on with your day, and you're out of school now. Are you out of school, Braden?
Yeah. About a week ago.
Man, your connection out there is really bad, isn't it?
Yeah,
I just seen you
kinda.
glitch. All right, I'm gonna get one more in here for you. You're gonna get it right this time. We're gonna end on a high note. Here we go. Let's see. If you guys think you can catch bigger fish than Braden, I want to see them pictures. Send them to JFB Fish of Year at gmail.com or send them to me on Facebook. Heck yeah. Of course, like and comment. And Braden's got the perfect answer for us. This is going to be the best piece of fishing advice you can get from a young man. Braden, when's the best time to fish?
All the time.
That's right. Close enough. Heck yeah. Here we go.